Hey, Sharon, good morning. Always go for the jugular. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Mary. Always go for the jugular. It's not a playground. This is not a gaming competition. This is not a gaming tournament. This is human life and human rights. Always go for the jugular. Evolve your fangs. Make sure they're truthful. Gotta stop playing with these people. Gotta stop playing. People faking being human. They're just gaming. That's all they're doing. They're gaming. They got a game they want to play. They want to play. Don't play. Don't play. This is human life and human rights. I got some crazy stuff happening. Always go for the jugular. I hate my voice. Y'all ever hear your voice and you hate it? I can't stand. There was a time I used to rewatch my videos. I can't stuff. I hate my voice. It's just I sound stupid. I don't know. Nancy and brother Tony. Linda, oh, you know what? Stacy, good morning. Was it brother Tony? I was gonna share this out on your page. I'm not sure I know how. I think I have to be an admin, brother, to do that. It probably made me one, and I'm just always go for the jugular, though, y'all. Always go. Let me see. I'll talk to you later about that later, Tony. I'll get that going. All right. Let me get off there. Woo, always go for the jugular, people. Evolve your fangs and dig in. Dig in. Tiger don't play, man. Tiger don't play. Okay, you could be gaming all you want. Gaming in politics, playing these games with human life. You know, like I said, I'm always okay with politics. People, I don't care. I don't care nothing about your politics. When it comes to human life, I'm not here to play. That's somebody, go to the playground with that nonsense. Go to that, you know. I'm involved in my fangs. That's what I'm doing. I know the purpose of fangs in a tiger. The great cats. Then watch that documentary, what is it called? A Lion in My Living Room. You should watch that. Cats don't play. Cats here to murder people. Cats are amazing weapons of murder. And you live in a time when all the people who's supposed to be leading everything just murdering everybody. I think you got to evolve your fangs. I think you got to evolve them to a point where you can dig in. When somebody starts to say something that's just stupid, just dumb, don't make no daggone sense, people getting killed and they want to talk about some tiddlywinks, don't play. Dig in. Like, let me show you a picture. I'm gonna show y'all a picture. And it's an example. I'm going somewhere with this. Brother Hedges, oh, he doesn't play. I don't know if y'all saw that. Brother Hedges don't play. You go ahead and put him on the news. Chris Hedges, go ahead and put him on the news. Try. That's why you'll hardly ever see him on Fox, MSNBC, CNN, any of the rest of them. Because Chris Hedges, the brother worked in the prison system. You know, he's growing his fangs out. He's not liberal. He's not progressive. He's not conservative. He's not any of that. This thing is coming to an end, and y'all need to be paying attention. We need to fix this because this is going to hurt when this empire collapses. So he writes books about the empire collapsing and the synergies between the United States Empire, the British Empire, the Roman Empire. You know, all these empires have all come to an end. But the problem is, you go ahead and mess around and get Chris Hedges on TV. He's waiting for you. This is how you got to be, because Thanksgiving's coming up. Y'all know Thanksgiving. That's the holiday we go. We pretend that we didn't steal the country and murder most of the people who lived here. Some of my ancestors lived here. And then my ancestors came in over on the boats, driving the boats and under the boats. All my ancestors, you know. But they were all born in sick times. But the point is this, is that you got to be ready for people. I think we can learn a lot from people like Chris Hedges, right? Because don't get trapped into arguing side effects. Don't get trapped into talking about things that don't matter. When we're murdering people, you need to stop. right? Stop with that game and, oh, come on to the Democrat Party, come on to the Republic, come on to the left and the right and all this nonsense. No, this is not the time for that. Let me show you the evolution of a jugular. Right? And this is why, you know, people get upset. Some of my fellow Christians get upset with me. I say things jugular based. I'm not here to play. Not here to play. You say that you love this religion thing, in which, by the way, I think everything's a belief anyway. We don't know nothing. We're just all a bunch of dummies. We're all a bunch of monkeys. We don't know anything. It's like I said, we barely understand what's happening at the atomic level of anything, let alone can we see the quantum level. So we're all just lost in this. We really don't know anything, but you got to evolve your jugulars. So that's why when the topic comes up and I'm talking with conservatives and they want to start talking about how they're doing something with Israel because God told them to or Christ told them to, I always bring up, but did God tell you to murder? Did God tell you to steal? You say you love this Christ thing, right? You say you love these 10 commandments. You say you respect this God thing. You say that's who you are. Then how come you don't stand for it? How come you're standing with men who are murdering, killing, and doing everything against that religion, everything that religion told them to do? And you think you're doing something for God? Really? You think you're heading for the pearly gates? You're heading for something shiny. It's not going to be no pearls, you know. But go for the jugular. I don't play around when it comes to stuff like that. So they put Chris on the news. He knew what his fangs were for. You know, I only got 5 minutes on this thing. I only got 5 minutes, and I'm not going to sit here with no liberal talking about some liberal BS. You're murdering people, liberal. You're murdering people, conservative. You're murdering people left and right. You're starving babies all over this planet, and you're all bigots from the top to the bottom. Bigots. I don't play. I like that word too because it gets people upset. You should be. It got me upset. People say stuff about me breaking down my narratives and the lies I've built my lifestyle up on. But you gotta break it down. You gotta break it down, like Brother Chris always says. You have to deprogram to reprogram. You gotta deprogram. But fangs over evolutionary time, going back to the saber-toothed tiger, evolve these fangs. Why? Because they're highly efficient. You only got a couple minutes, like Chris Hedges on, was it MSNBC? I'm gonna show it to y'all. You only got 5 minutes. They will cut you off because you got the newscasters in the ladies' ear who's interviewing you. You had got 5 points you might make, maybe 3. You gotta go for it. You only got a minute. That tiger knows I'm on the back of this buffalo. I only got a couple minutes. I like a couple seconds. I gotta make the bite count. I gotta sink it in and make it count. Gotta go for the jugular. Don't get lost with the people gaming politics. The people who are still lost in this, they're good people. They're good people. They just don't understand the seriousness of where we are. You know, they don't look at the pictures of the babies in Yemen. They don't look at the pictures of the babies in the Appalachian Mountains. They don't look at the pictures of the babies in Gaza. They don't look at the pictures of the babies in Afghanistan. Oh my goodness, I spent some time in Afghanistan this morning. I posted on my page, brother talking about one of the veterans. I keep saying it. You want to support the troops? You want to support the planet? You need to listen to the veterans. The veterans are the ones who would tell you the truth. And this brother was talking about how the policy was just kill everybody. You get there and a crowd, somebody shoots at you. You don't know who's shooting, kill everybody. And that's what they did, you know. And that's why I think he said there are hundreds of American veterans that are hiding out AWOL in Canada and thousands in America that are just hiding out because they came home to tell you the truth and you don't want to listen because you're liberal or progressive or conservative or you're left, you're in your little religion, because that's what they all are. That's what I think. That would never call me back to answer a text message are actually going to do something. I don't believe in believing in leaders. I don't believe in believing in people that I don't know. If I don't know you, I don't see any integrity. What's the point? Right? We got to get our integrity back. And you're not going to get your integrity back playing games with these people. When they put you on the news, you take out your human rights fangs and you sink them in. You know, it's like we can talk about tiddlywinks if you want to. Are you killing people? Are you murdering people? Are you doing it in your own country? Are you throwing them in prisons? Are you doing them on every continent all over this planet? If you are, then I don't want to talk about your politics. I'm not a political person. I keep saying it all over and over. I hate politics. I can't stand politics because you people are gamers. You're gaming a system. You're gaming a planet, and you're getting a lot of people killed who shouldn't be. We got greater things to do. We got bigger things to do. People lost who they are. So I'm going to show you this interview, but this is my point. Always go for the jugular. I'm going to show you, Chris. When you get your little 5 minutes at Thanksgiving, when you get your little 5 minutes when your friend calls you and wants you to go stand with somebody else on something, always go for the jugular. Ask them, are y'all planning on murdering people? Are you a part of a group that's still murdering people? Are you a group? This is why I'm not on the hate Trump train. People get upset when I say it, and I'm not getting on that train. I don't care nothing about your hate Trump train because you're special. I almost said, I almost said a bad word. You're special. We love you, but you're on the wrong. You're on the wrong side of this thing. You're on the wrong, because I have no interest in replacing Trump and putting genocidal murderers back in office, right? Is he doing his own genocide and murdering? Yes, he is. And that should be the first hint to your intellect. You actually have no control in your government, because we don't here in America. I'd love to hear from countries that actually control their government, but here in America, we don't. We just live with a lot of gaslit people who want to keep fighting like we do. Gaming, just like little kids sitting playing these games in these tournaments. They don't affect nothing, but they're still playing. They still got the controller. You know, they want to give it to you. Oh, here's your turn. Here, play the game, play the game. No, I'm not taking that controller, because I know it's not going to change anything. Impeaching Trump is not going to change one damn thing, except for make a whole bunch of people go back to sleep and be okay with murder, genocide, destruction. Not okay with that. Not okay with that. Some people say get rid of him, put Pence. Not interested in any of that. I'm interested in fix the system. Fix the system. Don't give me a controller. I don't want the controller. I'm not playing your game. I don't care. We on level 72. No, grow up. Grow up. Put the controller down. We got an earth to fix. We got human life being eradicated. We have an ecosystem being destroyed everywhere. And you want me to pick up the controller and support that? That's just not going to happen. So here's my point to you. Now I'll go to Chris. Evolve your jugular. Get your truth lined up. Get it lined up. Get ready to go. Because you're only going to have a few minutes. You're only going to be on that back of that buffalo, that conservative buffalo, that liberal buffalo, the neoconservative buffalo, the left, the right, the Democrat, the Republican. You may only have a few moments of fame before people tune out. It's politics. And you throw your human rights in there. That's my game in this. How long you gonna do this? When y'all stop murdering kids? How about that? How long are you gonna be in this? Looking at Afghanistan this morning. When y'all stop booming the prosthetic business for children, when you stop booming child coffins, right? When you stop those businesses booming, then you can go back to your little silly game. And I'm done. I'll go step aside. You can get your control and y'all can, and you can go back to playing. But short of that, nah. Can't back away. So I'm going to show you this. We evolve fangs. You got to evolve your fangs. Evolve your fangs. Find some people who say the truth and line up with them. Like, I used to spend a whole lot of time in the comment sections with my thread. And I do. I still do. I still go in. I chime in when I can. But half the time, there's nothing for me to say. By the time I get in there, I'm going to go answer a question or something and spend time in the comments. My friends are already dropping truth bombs like boom, 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 pulling out their fangs with the jugular, just hitting them with the facts. And mind you, some people can't see it. They don't want to see it. Like, I get a lot of messages sometimes about, well, how do you talk to this type of person? How you talk to this? I don't know why people think I can talk to people. I don't think I can. But, you know, you can't talk to everybody. You can't change. There's some people who they just believe in this game so much. They're on level 10, and they think if they beat the big boss, that something's going to change. They get to go to the next level. But the level just keeps resetting, and you can't change them. All you can do is you just plant a seed. Right? You just plant a seed, but you got to plant a real seed. Right? You got to plant a root cause seed. You got to plant a human rights seed. We have these fangs for a reason, because we only got a few seconds. You only got a few seconds to drop what's hot. So anybody listening, and the person right there, just a good seed, right? Don't put that seed on rocky ground. Don't let it be a seed that may not germinate, right? Don't let it be a seed that you don't water. You got to water it too. you know. But you getting this analogy? Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, you only got a moment, and we don't get to spend if we get lost in the middle argument. And this is why they put Chris Hedges on, because they thought they can get him lost talking about middle stuff. Chris was like, no, we're not going to talk about the middle stuff. We're going to talk about the stuff that affects everybody. And this is why he's such a powerful speaker, because he's not picking sides. He's just saying we got a massive system problem and we need to fix it. And if you understand history and history of empires, you'll understand what he's saying. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up for a minute. Let me put on Chris. We're gonna watch Chris, because he definitely is one of the people. If you don't follow him, anytime he does something, you need to be there. You want to pay attention to this brother. Let's go there now. Let me turn the music off. Brother Chris.
America, it suggests President Trump is the symptom of what's wrong and not the disease. It's called America, the Farewell Tour. Joining me now, author Chris Hedges, Pulitzer.
I know you're gonna get upset with me. Network funded by the Russian government. So we didn't dealt with this. We didn't fix this. Again, go for the jugular. So they are already lining Chris up for failure. We're gonna line him up for failure. We got this whole scheme. We're smarter than he is. We're gonna figure him out. We're gonna knock him out. First, he's funded by the Russians. And that triggers your little Russian hate, ignorance, and bigotry, where you're like already upset. No. First of all American news is funded by the alphabet organizations. I'm not going to say the U.S. government, because the U.S. government has no power. They're weak. They're useless. They do whatever corporations tell them to do. All news coming out of the United States, every single channel, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, all these, they're all funded by the alphabet organizations, because they're doing the same thing to them they're doing on social media. Here's the message that you'll put out. And if you don't put out anything else, we'll block you. We'll shut you down. We'll tax you. We'll do all the things, or they'll just pay them off. So all news. So first of all, yes, Chris Hedges is coming here and RT is funded by the Russian government, but the Russian government is trolling the U.S. government. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because the lies they put in won't be designed for me. The truth they put in will be designed to cause problems in America. So they'll say a lot of the things that are true that we all need to hear. So first of all, we need to get rid of that. That's triggering your Russian bigotry. Put that away for a minute. That's one thing that every presidential administration has in common. The foreign policy never changes. The bigotry and the racism that they have for other countries, it's never different. All right, so now I'm gonna shut up. I'm really gonna shut up now. Let's buy.
With this, you know, your provocative claims here, including that the country is facing the inevitable collapse of the American empire. So how do you back that up, and what do you mean by that?
Well, first of all, we've extended ourselves militarily 17 years now of warfare into conflicts that are futile, that we're not going to win, exhausting trillions of dollars, while the country is being hollowed out from the inside, not only in terms of deindustrialization, but austerity and the orchestration of the largest wealth inequality in American history. And you can't maintain a democracy in an oligarchic system, and that goes all the way back to philosophers such as Aristotle. And the book focuses on the kinds of pathologies that are exhibited by a society in deep decay, the opioid crisis, gambling, sexual sadism, suicide, which are plaguing larger and larger segments of the country, and I think have political consequences. This kind of stagnation, as you pointed out, creates figures like Trump. And I covered the war in the former Yugoslavia. I was the Balkan bureau chief for the New York Times, and I watched the economic collapse of Yugoslavia vomit up figures like Radovan Karadzic and Slobodan Milosevic. So we have to address this social inequality, this dislocation, this alienation, what Durkheim, the sociologist, calls this anomie, or our problems are not going to go away, even with the impeachment of Trump.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more when it comes to the political ramifications and it too.
I'm sorry, because you see what he did there? He thought about it. He's like, you know what? They don't put me on these news things. He says, I got this one shot. Then what I'm gonna do? Am I gonna bite her in the leg? Am I gonna bite her on the back? Am I gonna bite her in the toe? He said, no, I'm gonna bite her right in the jugular. She just went right in. She just jumped into all the decisive Trump stuff. And he answered the question, from all sides, the left, the right, the conservative, the progressive, the poor, the middle class. Everybody understood exactly what he said. He said the country's being hollowed out at the core. And that's exactly what's happening because the government sold out. There is no government anymore. Corporations run everything. He nailed the corporatocracy. He talked about American poverty. He gave the historical references to Aristotle. He gave his background, his credentials. He just blew it away. And she tried to jump in here. She said, she was trying to jump in, trying to shut him up. She's got that earpiece in, and the earpiece is like, stop him. No, he's talking about poverty and equality. No, he's talking about the things that everybody understands. No, stop him. You got to get back divisive. Get him talking about Trump. Get him back on the Trump impeachment stuff. Get him, make it divisive. And so she jumped in. Oh, well, what are the political ramifications? This is why you never bring a knife to a Chris Hedges fight. Don't ever do that. Because this brother, he knows what he's doing. Study him, watch him, and listen to him. Because he's talking, there's a difference between street fighting and kung fu, right? His brother knows kung fu. He knows I only got a few minutes. They're going to try to play me. They're going to watch. They're going to read all my books. They're going to watch all my latest speeches. They're going to plan it out like how y'all know how y'all do with the NFL. Y'all know how to do with the Coliseum. You study the other team. You try to come up with a strategy to trip them up and make them look bad, whatever, and they get her. And by the way, she fine as the day is long. Did I say that yet? I'm sorry. I get a little lost, like, oh, that's why I can't go on no show like that. You got to put me on with put me on with a guy or something. I'm a guy. Guys are weak. Chris Hedges ain't weak. The brother, he just strong. He just strong as the day is long. I didn't say strong. I said strong. So he got in and he nailed her, right? That didn't sound right. He got in and he just took care of business. Pulled his fangs out, cut the jugular, right? Why? Because they can cut him off now. They can cut him off at any time, but he already got it in. So let's go ahead and let him finish it up as she tries to pull him back to a decisive political. Well, what are the political ramifications of saying this? Is this, see, watch this, watch. This, you got to study Kung Fu, people. This is how we do it.
Chris, because at a larger scope, yes, this is what you're touching on in your book. But here, this is where we're talking about, the John McCain funeral, the words coming out of it, President Trump in here to racism that's happening in Florida when it comes to the governor's race there, and that tone. In this day and age, basically when it comes to the past week, talk about the political ramifications of it in that sense.
Well, so frame up her question. I understand your book, but let's not talk about your book. That's human rights. That's like human life and people dying, the country being hollowed out, Americans in mass poverty, 40 million Americans living in poverty, American kids starving. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the politics. Let's talk about some politics, right? Let's just have a decisive discussion and talk about division. Did you see the question she had? This is what I'm saying. If you break down and you really pay attention to what they're doing, they're just trying to divide people up. They want you to fight over there. It's like, Chris, I know all of that, but let's talk about it from a political perspective. Because I think you came from the liberal side. Can you talk more like a liberal? Because you're talking more like a human freaking being. I don't want to hear the human freaking being discussion. I want to keep it decisive. I need to sell this, right? And meanwhile, they're in her ear. You know they're in her ear right now. And she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. See what they did. They didn't found out Brother Chris like Asian women or something. And they said, we're going to get the pretty Asian girl to trip them up. And she's intelligent. She's intelligent as the day is long. But you can't trip up like Chris is. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for MSNBC. I'm not here for the liberals. I'm not here for the conservatives. I'm not here for your pretty behind. I'm here to tell the truth because I only got 1 minute to just drop it like it's hot. Now, let's see his answer. She tried to pull it back to politics. Let's see what he does with that.
Well, you saw with the McCain funeral really at its core an appeal for civility, for a return to a political discourse grounded in mutual respect. And of course, this is what's happened. This is how demagogues speak. They speak in vulgarities the way Trump does. They belittle others, and particularly the vulnerable, the weak. They are consumed by this kind of narcissism. Everything in the world is seen through the lens of what's either good for them or what isn't good for them, who is loyal to them and who isn't. And I found that kind of poignant with the McCain funeral because this is the new world. And as you correctly point out, it's not limited to Trump. There are all sorts of Trump mini-me's in Florida and everywhere else who have descended into this kind of gutter talk and appeals to racism and Islamophobia and homophobia. And it's not just the United States. This is what neoliberalism has writ large, what corporate capitalism has writ large throughout much of the industrialized world. We just saw in a German city 8,000 marchers led by neo-Nazis walking through the streets. We've seen Hungary with Orban, Brexit, the rise of Boris Johnson, figures like Boris Johnson. So it's not limited to the United States.
Sure. And if you take...
Okay, so I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it because I missed one part of that because she threw the McCain funeral in there, right? Right, because it's divisive. It's divisive, and so she wanted. So he addressed that. And by the way, I haven't even watched this yet. I saw the end of it and I saw the beginning, so I'm just commenting on what I'm seeing now. So she tried to pull it back, even with the McCain thing. She said, okay, so she gonna try to trip me up on the whole McCain thing. McCain funeral, because the whole nationalism thing, which is another religion, that's all it is. It's the same. They got their whole nationalism bigotry. We're more human than they're human, right? And so he's like, okay, I need to figure out how to go with this. He went up from a demigod perspective. He took his fangs right back out. I'm not going to jump in and attack the fact that you had a funeral for a war criminal and all the other war criminals, Obama, Clinton, all the rest of them all showed up cheering. We got to get together on this war crime stuff. We got to let's get together, right? And he just took it from a demigod perspective. Trump is the only one. Like, this is the way the world is going. This side got their demigods. That side has their demigods. You're all worshiping very murdery, genocidal bastards, and it needs to stop. And then he took him to the historical perspective. We saw this before. He put in his credentials. I was there. I talked to them. And he's just laying it out. So now see that they're in their ear like, oh, get him. You missed him again. Damn it, you're missing. Okay, get him on this. Get him on. I bet you they got a whole war room in this woman's ear. Like, we gotta take Hedges down. So, but you ain't gonna take. Look at the stare. Look at his eye. Look at his eye. You see his eye? Look at his eye. Y'all see his eye? Look deep in his eye. Chris ain't here to play. He ain't here to play. I'm not here to play with you. This is not political. This is about life. This is about the life of everybody. That brother ain't here to play. He doesn't see no games, and he knows that he's about done because right now in the boardroom they got about 20 people all talking about how to take down Chris Hedges, and they're in her ear. Tell her to say this. Tell her to say this. Tell her to talk about his mama. Say something. You know what? And he even hit that, the whole mudslinging, right? And that was another good point. What did the whole Trump thing, demigod thing do? It just finally pulled out all the children. It pulled out all the maturity on both sides of all of these politics and the people who really shouldn't be leading any damn thing. The people who they can't see down to the core of what's really wrong with the world because they want to sit there and name call and all right, so I'm gonna shut up. So now let's see what they told her to say now. Try to pull this brother back from his evolved fangs.
In essence, a history of this country, and you look at its past, and you look at the darker moments, and you look at the challenges, civil unrest in the 60s, Vietnam War, and we can go on a list here. We've seen it through. We've come out of it. And who's not to say that that couldn't be the same when it comes to this time now? Why it seems like if you see it as bleak, are we going to stay bleak?
Well,
stop. Now I'm a little upset on that one. I'm a little upset on that. Now you didn't hit one of my triggers. I got some people think I'm mellow. I'm not as mellow as I think. I know that me getting upset's not a good thing. Yeah, I get a little upset. I got a little trigger when it comes to the Vietnam War. So she's lying. She wanted to try to belittle it. Oh, well, you know what? We've always had hard times, but we always come through. We always have wars and genocide, murder a bunch of people, dump Agent Orange and DDT and all the poisons and toxify and murder a bunch of people. And the troops come back and say we were dumb and ignorant. We shouldn't have been there. And we don't listen to the veteran. So we let troops get sent again to go murder other people and die and get killed and lose their arms for corporations. But it's okay because we always come through it. It's just pretty on the other side. We always come through it. No, we don't always come through. We are not through it. You still have veterans from the Vietnam War that are still scared to come back in the country. You still got veterans now in prison. You still have people in Vietnam now, kids still being born deformed with 2 eyes, 1 eye, 3 eyes, all kind of deformities and horrible things for children to grow up and live with. We haven't come through a damn thing. We are still lost in the same demigod ignorance. I'm getting upset. I know. I'm stop. I'm getting a little annoyed. I know. I'm sorry. If you want to feel what I'm feeling right now, just go online. You can do it right now if you like. Do a search. Go ecoasia.org. Go to another site. Avoid the Google thing, and just type in birth defects Vietnam. Just go ahead. Go ahead right now and tell me that this is over. Tell me that we've come through it. Tell me that we don't have people in Vietnam who want to blow this country up and murder everybody in it, and who are probably justified in that anger. Watching kids coming out still deformed, and we ain't doing a damn thing to fix it. But by the way, you know what? And this is why I'm not against the military and troops, because we got the veterans over there now. Do you know a bunch of veterans went back to Vietnam just to help the people? It's a thing. Google it. Look it up. You want to support the troops? Listen to the veterans. I keep saying, so now she tried to belittle it, like, oh, well, we always have hard times, and we got to murder a whole bunch of people and genocide and bomb an entire damn country. She's just trying to belittle it. Let's see how he responds to this. Because I'm studying too. I'm studying, and look at this. I can tell you, we getting to the end. She's looking a little nervous. Look in her eye. The confidence is gone. Chris's confidence is still there. Look at his eye. Look at his eye. Look at the brother eye right there. He still got that. He got that stare like, I got you. I didn't severed one jugular on the first question. I didn't severed the other jugular on the next question. Now what you gonna do? Now I'm gonna bring it home.
Because the foundation of the American economy is no longer manufacturing. Our economy has been seized by Wall Street speculators.
So you think the economy is behind it all?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there was an article in today's New York Times about the fracking industry being the next bubble. Well, we've got student debt. We've got, the economy is extremely weak. And you saw with the tax cuts, these major corporations went and bought back their own stock. So because their compensation packages are tied to stock, or they hoarded it. They didn't invest it into the country. They didn't create jobs. And this is what Karl Marx calls fictitious capital. And we all know where it's going to end. And another economic crisis, there's no plan B. They can't lower interest rates any more than they've already lowered them.
Chris Hedges, thank you for your time and perspective.
Thank you.
Now, to the...
Did y'all see the side? Oh, let me rewind now. Did you see the side? She's like, oh, good Lord. I don't know what else to say to this man. This man just mopped me across the floor. None of mine said, why? Hold on, let me go back. She's just like, I was trying to get him into a political debate, and he just totally wiped the floor with human rights. Watch this side. Did you see the side, Ian? Hold on.
Thank you for your...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm losing it. I love it. Listen. You got to always go for the jugular. She didn't know what to do. Poor girl. They didn't set her up. You don't ever bring somebody to a human rights fight, right? When you're wrong, when you're there to divide people, when you're there to cheer murder, when you're there because you're wrong, you always lose in the face of facts. You always do. When I'm saying the jugular, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about facts. Know your facts. Evolve your jugular. So when these people want to come to try to deal with you, because that's on all the tribal sides, they're all wrong. Every last one of them. They're all wrong. They're all wrong, and they buckle in the face of facts. This is why you gotta get people who disagree with you, that are intellectuals, on your team. You got to make friends with them. You got to go talk to them. You got to have discussions with them. You got to put out the best you know so they can throw it back at you and say that's bullshizzle because of this, this, and this. And this is how you evolve your fangs. And then you get ready to go for the jugular, right? Because if you actually want to fix things, not just fix things for your people, not just fix things for your group, if you actually want to fix problems, if you are actually truly ingenuous in wanting to do things better for this world, then your only foundation is facts. Your only foundation is facts. That's number one. Universal facts, not your group's facts, not your country's facts, not your one news, CNN news, or MSNBC or Fox or whatever, not your conservative, your liberal facts. They're all the universal facts. And if you got that, there really is no fight. Because if you really pay attention to what just happened, Chris didn't go in. He didn't go in fighting. All he did was put down the truth. Indisputable facts that stand on their own, always in the face of partial BS. So So she tried to get him over there so they can have this fight about liberal neoliberals. And he didn't bite. He didn't bite. He sat back and said, no, the facts are the country's being hollowed out and the world's being hollowed out. And we've done this dumb stuff before and we need to stop doing it. He basically said, y'all are gaming the system. The economy's busted. So there is no savior coming. There's no jobs coming. There's no simple fix. We have a massive system down problem that needs to be fixed, and neither side is talking about it. And he just blew out all arguments in 3 simple answers. That's Chris Hedges, man. But this is the difference between, you know, street fighting, slapping each other, throw a punch or whatever, and just someone who's evolved at fight. We have highly evolved some of our philosophers and our speakers to just be weapons of mass peace. And they're monsters. They're beautiful monsters. If you don't follow Chris Hedges, you need to follow Chris Hedges. But you also need to accept the fact. After you do all of this, you start learning all these facts, you start listening to these people. If you see people on this thread, and again, if they say things that you disagree with, you need to send them a friend request. You need to go down their thread and read their thread and start having some peaceful discussions, respectful discussions with them to try to see where they're coming from. And when you do that, oh man, but then you got to accept the truth. And the truth is we don't control our media. Now, they weren't ready for the internet. And that's why it's so hard for them to take down. This is why I think they went from taking down videos to taking down entire pages, right? They used to take down, they would take off posts and they would take off videos. But now you have so much content that's truthful from perspectives from human beings all over this planet on all sides and all walks of, we realize we're being played by these betters, these rulers, these elites, that they're shutting down entire channels, right? Like today, did y'all just see Syria? They shut down the whole damn channel. Did y'all see YouTube? YouTube, I like YouTube. Listen, YouTube, I'm not blaming y'all. Don't be mad. I'm not blaming. Oh, y'all shut me off. I'm not blaming you. I understand that there's some deep state operatives that's behind everything that's making you do all of this nonsense, but they took down the entire Syrian state channel. How do you do that? How do you do that? Because YouTube doesn't care nothing about that. YouTube is in it for the money. They're just in there, just ad money. That's why it's ad revenue. The more divisive things are, the more money they make. Why in the world would they want to take down anything divisive? They want both sides of the argument. They want to know what the Syrian government says, and they want to know what the U.S. government's lying about. See how I put that? They want to know what the Syrian government's saying, but they want to know what the U.S. government, France government, the UK, Germany, are always lying about, because they're always lying. And so YouTube doesn't care anything about that, you know, but they took the whole channel down. So you got to know. So you got to have the fangs, but you also have to accept the truth that you're only going to have a minute to sink them in. Know where the jugular is. Know where, see the jugular veins right there? Know where they are. Have the fangs to sever them. And make sure you bite them in the right spot, because you might only have a few seconds. You're like Chris Hedges. You might only have 3 questions, because that whole interview, I guarantee you, that interview was lined up to go for a good while. If they got him going. If they got him going into like a political divisive discussion, he'd have been there for 30 minutes. But they couldn't get him. So within 3 minutes or within 5 minutes, they had to shut him up and get him off of there. And that's exactly what they did. So let me see. All right, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all? I'm gonna do comments on the rest of this. Then they go to sports. Exactly. That's what they do. They'll put it out there. Then they go to and now we're off to sports. Now they're off to the weather. No, wait. I'm sorry. We got something breaking coming in. The hurricane is the hurricane is coming in. It's coming in. But the hurricane was coming in before the broadcast, dummy. I don't want to talk about the hurricane. Chris asked you some questions. Why aren't we talking about human rights? Why aren't we talking about hollowing out the country? All right. Yeah, Brother Gale said category 5. Category 5. Oh my gosh, you know, to put somebody else on. You see somebody flapping in the wind, holding onto a stop sign or something. Don't be played by it. People, they're just gaming us. They're gaming it, and I think that's my statement for the day. Stop picking up the controller, right? Stop picking up the controller. You know this is a game. You know they're gaming you because they got a lot of people to murder. They got a lot of resources to steal. They got a lot of money to make. And they game us in so many ways, in so many places. That's why I tell people, ask me, well, what do I do? I say, I can tell you the things that I do to stop feeding into this nonsense, but it's so much in so many places. Just think about investment. I was watching, I'll post a link if you want to see it. I was looking at, they were talking about investment. They were talking about ethical investments, right? Where do you put your retirement money? Into ethical companies. Here are the ethical big businesses that run the world and buy the politicians in an ethical way. There are no ethical big businesses. Big business should not exist at all. Not at all. Completely. Because the whole mindset is off and wrong. You can't have a massive big business with the power that comes with having billions of dollars in purchasing power and them not do foul things. It's impossible. Outside of the fact of with the externalities that show that none of them are profitable, they shouldn't exist. That amount of power in a system is a really bad idea, especially on a planet where you got human beings, where you got kids who live. You don't want to create big monstrous corporations that are competing against each other. So there are a lot of different things. There are no ethical ways to invest in big business. Your money shouldn't be in big business. Your money should be in something that's decent, right? Not in power. Power is bad. Man, I don't know, maybe we could say it that way. Power is bad. That's what it comes down to. If what I do gives you power, that's a bad thing. You shouldn't have any power over anything except for you and yourself and your own body, right? When you got that, we all have peace and freedom, right? When somebody has the ability to have immense levels of power over you or your government, do you think eventually there won't be a CEO or somebody who comes along and says, you know what, we're going to buy your government? And you end up just like America. We're captives here. We're captives. And this is what Chris Hedges basically said when he threw out the corporatocracy, right? You're captives in your country. You can sit here and you can take the controllers and fight on the left and fight on the right, fight with the red, fight with the blue, the donkey, the elephant, the monkey, whatever you want to fight with. It's not going to make one damn bit of difference because you have no decision-making abilities in your government at all. And the whole world knows this. The whole world knows it. I don't know why you don't. Right? How many universities put out those studies that showed that Americans have absolutely no influence in governing? None. Zero. They have no, business has more influence in governing and legislation than Americans do. So what are you fighting over? Somebody asked, okay, I'm gonna ask the question. Somebody answer this question for me. What the hell are y'all fighting? The hell are y'all fighting over? At least you go on to daycare, you got little kids, they're in there battling, they get blocks, man. I'm gonna hit you in the head, they're fighting, they're in there fighting, they get blocks, they fight, I'm pull it away from you. Girl, I got my blocks. At least in the daycare, when the kids are fighting, the toddlers, they can get some blocks, man, they can get some Legos. They can get something out of the fight. The hell y'all getting out of the fight, man? The whole world is looking at you like you're a bunch of crazy mixed up nuts arguing over something you don't have any control over. And outside of the fact that after the government's elected, you have no say in their legislation, they just always take your rights away, but you actually have no influence in who gets picked for president. How about that? Didn't we talk about that in electoral college? You have no control. You can't elect your government and you can't control them once they're in government. The hell are you people fighting over? What are you going to get? You're not going to get no pickup sticks. You're not going to get the monkeys. Y'all done had the monkeys. Y'all met the monkeys? When I was a kid, we had the plastic monkeys, and one had a hand up here and the other had the hand. I love that too. I used to fight for the monkeys all the time. And you hang the monkeys in the barrel. That's what it's called, monkeys in the barrel. That was fun. I used to love the monkeys. Listen, I had to fight somebody at daycare. I'm going to get the monkeys, damn it. I used to fight over in preschool. I used to fight over we had a little circle. And you get on the little tricycle, and if you were the fastest kid outside when it was recess time, you run out there, you get the tricycle. You got the tricycle. I got my tricycle. What the hell are Americans fighting over? Y'all get some tricycles I'm not being told about. What y'all getting? Huh? Somebody tell me. Nothing. Nothing. Your position isn't to fight with Trump voters, dummy. Your position to understand that Trump voters don't exist. No such thing. Your position not to fight with Clinton voters. They don't exist. Your position isn't to fight the Republicans. They don't exist. They're all fantasies. Your position isn't to fight with liberals and Democrats. None of them exist. They're all fantasy, and the whole world knows it. It's just a video game. It's time we turn the game off. Your mama get upset with you. My mama used to get upset with me. She'd come in. Saturday afternoon, shut the game off. Get outside. You want to mess your eyes up. You want to get outside, go outside and play with somebody. Do something real for once. That's like, I feel like I'm y'all mama sometimes. I'm y'all mama coming here in a big mama costume. Damn it, go outside and play. Do something real for once. But everybody's sick of this little game y'all playing on this little game station retard thing. Stop it. Stop it. We have a system to fix. When you got people being murdered around this planet, that's not a time for you to try to beat somebody at a game. We don't care about you beating the other side. No, we care about you getting some humanity back. That's what we care about. All right. I am gonna go to comments. I got a little going. I get to going sometimes. Sometimes it happens. But Chris nailed it. And he explained it just very clearly. Work on your fangs. Sharpen those mothers, right? Evolve them out. Teach your kids to grow fangs. Live on the truth. Don't live in tribal, racial, religious nonsense. There's nothing wrong with having beliefs, but keep your beliefs in you. Your beliefs aren't utilized. Don't utilize your beliefs and let them be used to play you into giving all the massive power we have to corporations that murder people and governments. Evolve your fangs, teach them to your kids, and when you get your moment in fame, you get that moment to explain something. Explain it cut and dry. Just give it to them. Sever the jugular so they shut up. This brother shut up. That newscaster and everybody in her ear that was telling her how to get Chris Hedges. Evolve your kung fu. Lean up in the chair. Know your kung fu. Don't pick a team. Don't pick a team. I'm telling you, don't pick a team. People still come to me today. Oh, you're on our side. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nah, there are no sides. There's evolution and then there's stupidity. There are no sides in this anymore. We have a world level technology now. So I get that we used to be on sides and tribal nations and all of that stuff. We needed that. We've evolved past that. We now can destroy this planet in a day. You realize that? We have the technology to destroy this entire world in a day and leave nothing but cockroaches. This is not a time to play video games, y'all. It's not a time for gaming. It's time for growing up. All right, let me even go to comment. Yes, it's all shizzle, brother Steven. I think she was trying to inhale him to get rid of him. Yeah, she was, but that was funny at the end. She's like, I know, let me see if I can find her face. Gail has me laughing. I was like, do you see her face at the end? She was worried. Listen, I'm not picking on her. Hashtag me too. I'm not picking on her, but she picked the wrong team. I'm sorry, she did. She's got a mortgage to pay. She's trying to do her thing. Hang on, let me get rid of the jugular. She's trying to do her thing, but you look at her face at the end. She is just like, oh, this mother done got me. You bastard, you funky bastard. If we was in the same room, I'd smack the hell out of you. Oh, he came from, look at Chris's face. Chris is a little smug. Got a little smug. It's like, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Human rights, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna save the world. No, we're not. Probably not. We're probably all gonna die, but that's okay. Let me see. I have devil's advocates who disagrees just to disagree. I thank them for strengthening my arguments. Exactly, Jeannie. And that's what, and you get a lot of them. You get a lot of them. And they disagree with you, right? They disagree on disagreement principles alone, right? It's like, you know, your name is Jeannie, and I'm going to disagree with you because your name is Jeannie. And it doesn't really matter what you say. I'm not going to read the facts. I'm not going to do my research. I'm not going to do my homework. I'm not going to do anything. I'll look stupid if I have to, but I'm just not going to agree with Jeannie because you're Jeannie. Gosh darn it. Stop it. Which is okay. It's okay because all you put the facts out. We're not here for the tribal silly people. We're not here for them. We're here for the intellectuals on the fence. We're here for the people who know the world is funky. They know that this is wrong. They know that we got a lot to change, and it's at the systematic level, right? It's not at the party level. It's not at the politic level. It's not at any ignorant levels that have no influence. We understand that corporations and billionaires run this planet, and the systems have to keep them in check. We understand these things. We're no longer fighting on arguing at the gun control level. We're not giving no damn about poor people with guns. Poor people with guns don't murder nations. Nations with militaries murder nations who don't control their nation. So we're not talking gun control. We're talking weaponry control. We're talking military control. We're at a level that most people can't even fathom. You know, we're not here to play those games. So they can go back and dance on the gun control, do all the little silly stuff they want, but don't worry about that. You just drop in the military control. Boom. You know, you take out your fangs, bite the jugular, empire control, and be done with it. They may not see it. And a lot of times they don't, and that's okay. You just walk away. Like, listen, I didn't slice the jugular. You're going to bleed out later. And I'm fine with that. The people in the audience, the people in the comment section, they understood what I just said. You don't, which is okay. And I love you too. But I'm going to plant this seed firmly in your jugular, right? That's so you can't, you know, so that's what I'm saying. I don't worry about whether or not we're going to win. You're going to win. I don't care about winning. It's not about winning. I don't care about the next election. What about the next election? Which is what she was trying to do. She was trying to pull him back to politics. What about the next? I don't care nothing about the next election. I care about the damn planet. I care about my kids. I care about your kids. I care about the kids in Gaza, in West Bank, and even in Israel. I give a damn about the kids in Congo. I give a damn about the kids in Afghanistan that just can't even walk to school because they got half a leg. This is why I don't care nothing about this generation. We got to take it on the chin. We're the ones who put it out there, and we live high and wealthy on the murder of the poorest people all over this planet, the youngest and the most defenseless. And we got to pull it back. We got to pull it back. Let me see. She was playing checkers. Chris was playing chess. Yes, Deborah. That's how it goes. She was there. Oh, I'm hot over your pieces. No. We playing chess. This, and that's the cool thing is you already got chess if the truth is on your side. You don't have to be any sort of an intellectual to understand how this works. You just put out the truth, and it will do what it has to do. Just the facts. No sensational journalism. That's just the facts. That's the fun thing, Sandra. When everybody's lying. When they're all lying, when all sides are lying and they're playing these tribal games on things that aren't true, all you got to do is drop the facts. All right, let me see. What do we got? They couldn't use them. No, they couldn't use them, so they shut them off. That's how it works, Jeannie. Let me see. Can't play a player. You can't play. Crystal, the brother, he wasn't there to play. Look at his face. Did he like? See, but that, and I think that's the other thing is when you're in tune with the people. You know, the passion is there. Like he's there and like he's seen it just working in the prison system. He's seen the poor whites. He's seen the poor blacks. He's seen the poor Hispanics. He's seen everybody just being abused and oppressed, destroyed. He understands the backgrounds that they came from. He understands the country's being hollowed out. He understands they're Democrats and they're Republicans. They're on all sides of that. They're all being gamed by the same thing. Like Chris, he doesn't come from a political background. He comes from I understand what the heck is going on background. I see the people, I see the pain. This has got to stop. And you're not going to play with that. You can play with other people, you're not going to play with him. So that's why he doesn't go on TV. MSNBC, is that MSNBC? Yeah, y'all messed up. Y'all should have got somebody else. You mess around, put a real player on there. Oh, he going to shut you down. And that's what he did. That's what you got to, yes, you got to level up. That's what you got to do. They have to get the population down to 500 million. And Tony, I'm with you. Like I used to be at a place where I was like, you know, that sounds conspiracy theory-ish. They got to get the population down to 500 million. You understand what Tony's saying when he says that? There's too many people on this damn planet. Not for the planet, not for the food, not for the ecosystem, and not for the animals. They can all live comfortably, up to 100 billion people, no problem. There's too many people for the greediest bastards on this planet. That's what it is. There's too many of y'all. Some of y'all have to go. A whole lot of y'all have to die. How do you kill them off? I don't know. There's all types of synthetic drug ways and, you know, pseudosciences, faking science, and people trust the sciences and stuff that you can kill everybody off. You can kill them off with world wars. However you do it. You don't need all of these people. It's too many useless eaters. There's too many people breathing up the oxygen. You got to get rid of them. And the only way, because you don't need them. Human labor is gone extinct. You don't need people. People just get in the way of profit. At the billions level, not that 100 million. Nobody doing 100 million. That's poverty level. I care nothing about that. This is the hundreds of billions level, and soon it'll be the trillions levels. Too many people gotta go. You know, and people who sitting back still on the fence, like with this depopulation thing, that's conspiracy theory. Check history. Check history. That's all I got to say. When the kings and the lords realized there was too much of the population and they were starting to get the pitchforks and the torches and the internet, that's all it is. And you see a bunch of people with pitchforks and torches. What do? Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness gracious. They look out the castle like, oh, damn. Oh, damn. These mothers are real. They mad and got some lights and they're lighting up the torches and stuff. The pitchfork, they sharpening pitchforks. So we got to get rid of some of these bastards, man. I don't know how we're going to do it. We have to start famine, starve them, something. They didn't have synthetic drugs back then. They didn't have big pharmaceutical companies. They didn't have Monsanto and GMO. They couldn't kill you off in those ways. They couldn't have a world scale war, but damn it, they sure could starve you and send a bunch of you to die. So depopulation is a real thing. It's just math. It's just do the math. Just do the math. It's just economics. There are too many people. You got to get rid of a whole bunch of them. They're useless. They have no place in your society. And as much as they love putting people in prison, you can't put that many people in prison. Oh, somebody said, who's that? Who said? Crystal said that. History was built on conspiracy. History was built on conspiracy, and history is not a conspiracy theory. It's just history. It's how they did things back then is how we do things now. The same brain that was in their head is the same brain that's in our head. And besides cellular memory and what's passed down through genetics, we tend to do the same things our ancestors did. So it's coming. That's not a conspiracy theory. There's too many people. The robots are here, the automation and software. They don't need all of us. It's just logic. That's all it is. All right, what else we got? What else we got? Oh, somebody said I gotta have some background music. A little background fun music. Let me see. However, we will be held accountable. We'll always be held accountable, Rebecca. Yes, we will. We always will. You know, but the biggest shame I think about is we'll be held to account, but sometimes our kids get held to account. That's what bothers me. I think the way these things are going, it may not even be us that they depopulate. It might be our kids. That's why this is a parent step up time. Nobody can be on the fence anymore. Nobody in the world, nobody in America, nobody can be on the fence anymore in this. You got to get outside of your human farming fences. You're not what you were born into. You are what you see. You're not white and black and German and French and any of these little silly, ignorant things that the most powerful, murderous people on this planet called you and where you were born. You're just a human being. Look at wrong and say wrong is wrong. Look at right and say right is right. And that's it. Let me see. Fight the monkey. Deborah said fight the monkey. We fight the monkeys every day, Deborah. That's all we do. We just fight the monkeys. They're playing games. They're trying to swing. They got the they're just a bunch of monkeys in a barrel and they're trying to swing. It's like, no, that's not what monkeys are doing. Y'all can't do that right now. Fight the monkeys every day. And the flying monkeys too, right? The flying monkeys with their Wizard of Oz, the fake flying monkeys, the fantasy, living in fantasy world, playing these video games, gaming like any of that's real. None of that's real. It's just a bunch of flying monkeys. We can thank the Powell memo for the corporatocracy we're dealing with today. And yes, and who is that? Dave Marie, yes, and it has to come down. Everybody say hi to Dave Marie. She's new. I see she's posting. I always like to see new people. Hey, new people, we love y'all, new people. Absolutely. The corporatocracy has to come down. You can't have corporations that can buy governments. That's just basic understanding. Like that's just, you can't have massive powers that can buy a government that you're supposed to control. If you do that, eventually they're going to take everything. And that's exactly where we are. Thank you. Welcome to the family. I was reading Renee trying to make me laugh. Renee said, but Gerard, corporations are people too. Corporations are just systems. That's, yeah, and you know that. You're trying to be funny. Corporations are systems. At the end of the day, they got to make profit. The bottom line is the bottom line. And when human life gets in the way of that, they're going to murder a bunch of people. And that's the only thing that's happening. It's nothing special and it's nothing real methodical you got to think about in Matrix. It's just the corporations buy the countries with the biggest militaries. That's it. And so the people have no say. The people live there. They're just captives, but all their kids are they're just army fodder, right? They're just used in wars to murder other people to steal what they have. You can't have a corporation. That's why I say you always got to side with people. Always side with people. Never side with systems. Never side with corporations. There are things, maybe they get to exist, but always get people's back if you're a person. Now, if you're not a person, then don't get people's back. That's what I'm saying. Corporations are people too. Who brought us that? Was that Clinton? I forgot. I think that was Clinton. Clinton brought us that corporations are people too nonsense. Voters don't understand the scope of the problem again. No, Rebecca, they never do because they control the media and they keep confusing people. That's why we got to talk about it. We got to grow the fangs, got to go for the jugular, get people real quickly and simple and bring them back to the truth. And then we can get somewhere. But we need bigger numbers. We got to have bigger numbers. So I appreciate people who are liking and subscribing and sharing. Yes, Betty, off to the gulag. That let me see. You can't free people from chains they revere. Voltaire. Yes, thank you, Crystal, for that quote. Absolutely. And that's what they get people to love these chains. They get people to love slavery. They get people to love war. They get people to love the idea of supporting the troops is sending them into murderous battle, killing, people who don't even have weapons, right? Screwing them up and not giving them any sort of medications when they come back. They get people to love their slavery. The same McCain funeral. They get people to just salivating over war criminals getting together. Instead of saying, you know what? That's why I take a neutral guy. A lot of my friends, they joke about it. I don't joke. I just sit back and say, you know what? I'm sorry the guy died in terms of for his family. But in terms of the life he led and did we learn from it? You got to act like you can learn from it. And that's why Chris didn't get pulled into that, right? He didn't get pulled into the McCain tribalism, nationalism, religion. He just stepped back and said, you know what? We got demagogues. It's a bad idea. He didn't hit the Obama triggers and everybody else. He just said, we got demagogues and we shouldn't have them. People need to stop worshiping people. This does not end up well. Not when you're an adult and you're wearing some other adults, what they call underoos. When you're an adult and you got on some Trump underoos, we got problems. When you're an adult, you got on Clinton and McCain and Obama underoos, we got a problem. You're not supposed to. You're a grown man. Why you got on briefs with another grown man's face on you? I know the young people are like, what the hell is he talking about these underoos again? What the hell is he talking about? It's old people stuff. I'm sorry. Let me see. We're living in a modern Game of Thrones. Yes, we are, Dave Marie. I love what you're saying. We are in a modern Game of Thrones. And people, they think the kingdom they born into is who they are. And it's not who you are. You're greater than that, people. We don't even know what you are. We don't know if we're spirits, we're energy, quantum, physical somethings. We have no idea what we are. All we know is there's something greater than us. That's what I know. But we're not playing the Game of Thrones. We got to stop cheering these kingdoms. Right? This is silly. This is dumb. We need to evolve out of that. Yep. Certain games will make you rage. Yes, they do. They're designed to make you rage. They absolutely want to make you rage, Jeannie. The more they make you rage, the more problems they can create. The more emotion you can put into an adult, the dumber you can make them. And that's the only scary thing about today is some of the most intelligent people I know that I grew up with, they sound like blithering idiots because they watch this crap. They watch the CNNs and the MSNBCs and they don't see what's going on. And they sound dumb as the day is long, but I love them. And this is why I do this. We all have to work in our segments to try to wake up who we can. Discipline is key. Yes, absolutely. Discipline is key. Jeannie said, never sell out your message. No, Jeannie, you can't sell out. And the good thing is, Jeannie, like I said, you got to get a bunch of friends that won't let you sell out. I wish I sell out. Like I said, billionaires, they come out to give me $1 billion to sell out. Well, I try to sell out and my friends will walk away from me in a minute. But my friends, they love me, I think. They're not going to let me sell out. Right? You need to get you some friends that won't let you sell out. Not to your little tribal, ignorant group, but to humanity, something that actually means something. They fight over the triggers, obviously, to what's really going on because they don't have a real world view. MSM. Exactly, Sandra. They don't let people have a real world view. They keep it from them. That's why you can't watch the news. The news won't give you a real world view. If you want a real world view, go on Facebook, make some friends in Namibia, make some friends in Gaza, and make some friends in Israel. Make some friends in Russia, make some friends in Germany, make some friends in France. I know that if you're feeling bold, make a few friends in the United States. But I'm just going to warn you, the stuff you're going to see is going to hit some triggers. You're going to like, those people, are they real? These are all fake profiles in America. None of these people are adults. They can't be. They obviously, they're joking. Make friends and that'll give you a world view before they shut it down. The time is coming. Soon watch. You watch how this goes. Soon you won't be able to make friends in other countries because too much discussion is happening. Too many people are waking up. You're starting to realize what the damage our lifestyle is doing in other countries. And this is how we led into yesterday's discussion about colonizing child support. We need to pay our child support. I'm sorry. We didn't colonize the whole damn world. We destroyed everything. We left starving children everywhere, destroying their nations, murdering their parents and their uncles, and we need to pay our colonizer child support. What I mean by that, I'm not saying welfare. Somebody in the background, one of my friends on the right, like, he's talking about welfare. No, I'm not. You give a man a fish, you got to keep fishing to feed him. We need to give these colonies fishing rods and show them where they can catch some fish. Got to give them a few fish so they don't die. But sustainable neighbors makes for a sustainable world, right? a long time ago, we had a discussion about national security. And what is national security? National security is the same thing as neighborhood security. If your neighbors are secure, your neighbors, they're eating and they're drinking and they got a place to live and they feel safe, you're safe. If Mexico is safe and they got a good economy and everybody's happy and they're growing food, they're eating, you're safe. Right? If Libya and Syria is not being invaded and destroyed, they got food, they're living, and they don't have a tyrannical government, then you're safe. But when your neighbors are in trouble and the kids are starving, how long do you think your neighbor's gonna sit there in your neighborhood looking at you with them steaks and shrimps? You having barbecues on the weekend, how your friends coming, just dropping food on the ground, letting the dog eat it. How long do you think your neighbor's gonna sit there and before they start immigrating to your house? How long do you think before they're going to stage a home invasion, right? It's just human nature. It's just the nature of everything on this planet to not sit there and die. National security is building up your neighbors. National security is giving them fishing rods, helping them, showing them, building them up, making them strong, not keeping them weak because you want to be a dominating empire. That's what neighborhood security is, and that's what true national security is. Everything else is just murders. It's just being serial killers. That's all. And I'm not interested in talking to serial killers about their cold. That's why people, they start sending me these politicians. I'm supposed to like the pages and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I see he's a serial killer. And if he's not a serial killer, he's involved in a group that believes, a party that believes in serial killing. Okay. And is he talking about like he's got a headache? We're going to talk about the headache problems and the colds and the flus. No, we need to talk about your psychological issues. We need to talk about your psychotic necessity to be a party that has a base foundation of murdering people. That's not anything I can be a part of. I believe we all choose to be here at a crucial time in history. I also believe we came equipped for it. I believe that too, Ish. I think there's a lot of things in control of all of this that we don't know anything about. So it's glitching over there. I don't know. Like I said, they're only gonna let us do this for a minute. So we can talk for a little bit, then they're gonna delete all these videos, they delete the channels, because they don't, the love is, and it's not Facebook, and it's not NATO book, it's not them. It's just that we don't control our media. The big corporations do. And the alphabet agencies that are in place, because we keep voting for the same stupid politicians, will control and censor everything. Because you gotta keep all the human in their fences, right? Like we talk about, it's human farming. Got to keep the Americans in their fence, keep them ignorant and nationalistic, keep them in their racial fences, keep them in their religion fences, keep them, the Russians, keep them in their fences, and keep the Germans in their fences, and the left and the right in Germany on their fences. You know, keep everybody in their fences, keep them ignorant and stupid, and keep feeding them bull, censoring everything. And that's how you dominate a world. That's how you control and you can dominate a world full of intellectuals, people who are supposed to be critically thinking. You know, get outside your fence. Let me see. Is it hard to give unlimited power to limited minds? Tesla. It is hard, but in terms of energy, energy's free. Talk about Tesla. Energy's free, and that's what you do when you help out other nations. You give them solar panel making factories. You give them some solar panels. You show them how to make energy. You know, Puerto Rico, the rest of these places. Like when people around you are sustainable, then they can take care of you when you have bad times. When that asteroid comes like the Younger Dryas to wipe us out, then Puerto Rico can come help us. But we got to help Puerto Rico and Mexico and all these other countries be strong. Syria and North Africa and these places, when you help build them up, then when bad things happen in your nation, people can take care of you. You know, that when your neighbor has food, you making them hot apple pies and taking them apple pies with no sugar, no sugar. You got to pick the apples at the right time so they're fresh and they're sweet. Don't put no sugar in there. You know, but when you're hungry, they feed you. Your kids, they look out for your kids. That's how you build a sustainable world. That's how you build a collective. Everything else is not sustainable. All right, let me try to get down in the comments. Let me see. There needs to be factual people on a tribal level. Yes, there needs to be factual people, and people need to embrace the facts of things and stop embracing the fantasy and the tribalism, right? They need to stop embracing the things that are dramatic and fun and stop playing with politics and start getting serious about human life and human rights. Start pretending that they're in these countries that we're attacking and we're destroying, we're keeping in poverty. Our kids are held accountable already for national debt. Yes, they are, Mackie, and there's no way they can pay it back, right? We already know but through fractional reserve banking, that our kids, there's not enough money in circulation to actually pay back what we spent. That whole thing needs to collapse. The whole thing needs to collapse. Dave Marie said, question everything. Absolutely, positive, question everything and question the question. I believe in questioning the question because I think they set the conversations, and if you question the question, it gets you above that being in that boxed conversation. It's never too late to make amends. No, Crystal, it's not. It's never too late to come back. That's why I'm not anti-Obama. I'm not anti-Clinton. I'm not anti anybody who murders people. We can all come back. I'm not anti anybody who voted for him, right? At any day, you can lay down your sword for your neighbor and pick up a torch for the system. At any day. It's your choice. That's why we got to speak to people with love and respect. When you do that, and you treat them like human beings, I think they're more likely to listen to what you have to say. They're more likely to take what you have to say seriously instead of just getting ready to fight with you. Like I had somebody the other day, we were talking about colonizer child support. I had a picture of Clinton in me yesterday's video. Somebody was flipping out in the beginning. They were like, why are you supporting Clinton? He started slavery. And I'm like, lady, you don't think I know that? You don't think I but of course you see a black person and, a person with some brown skin and Clinton behind them, they're cheering them, right? We got to stop being ignorant, y'all. We got to stop that. What's this, Gerard for president? We have a president that is happy. First of all, Pat, they killed me. Like I said, you know what? They killed me before I got there. I was thinking, but it's funny, but no, that's never gonna happen. But I was thinking about this the other day. What if we had an act? We need a couple acts. If I were, I'm gonna take this on for just a second. I'm gonna get out of here. If I were president of the world, and this is what y'all need to support in people who are running. One, all politicians have to have body cameras, all of them. Take them off the police, because that's the side effect, and put them on the people who are writing legislation. All politicians have to have body cameras. That's the Body Camera Act of 2020. The next thing is the Military Murder People Act. All militaries, they can only be used for defense. No military can be caught in anybody else's land. You can only have military powers at a defensive scale. No offensive weapon militaries can exist. You can't funnel guns, the Funnel Gun Act of 2020. You can't funnel guns anywhere on this planet to anybody for any damn reason at all, because it always ends up like the brother in Uganda talks about, Bobi Wine. That these guns are just utilized that came from America. The American bullets and guns are just used to murder people, right? Everybody got to have a Sovereignty Act 2020. The Sovereignty Act would say everybody is sovereign. Every human being has the right to be a human being and has the right to life. You don't have to work for no big corporation. You don't have to have money. If you got a little piece of land, you can grow your own food, live your own peaceful life, because you need to be the ability to back out of a system when it turns tyrannical. And most people can't do that because they built society that way, which brings about the Land Act of 2020. The Land Act, what does the Land Act say? The Land Act says that if you were born on this planet, you have a right to live. You have the right to access to land. I do think we got to get away from land ownership. I think that's a bad idea. I think people should be allocated land. Every child should have enough land to grow something. Every child, when they're born right now, they can have a little automated grow greenhouse that feeds them and a house to live in. When you give people what they need, they don't become psychopaths. And I think that's an important direction to go. But we won't actually get a decent president. We won't get any decent prime ministers, and we won't have a decent country that has major power in the world until people start being human again. That's number one. Until they grow those fangs of truth, evolve them in your kids, and speak on the truth. Don't speak on your drama. Don't speak on your ignorance. Don't speak on the things that make you feel good. Don't speak on the things that fulfill your narrative that's scripted and given to you at birth. Try to find out who you are. Get more in touch with your spirituality, right? We're so much greater than this ignorance. Sita said, debt is slavery and the entrapment. Yes, it is, Sita. And that's how we colonize today. We colonize everybody and we make them all debt colonies. And it's the same way in this society. The kids are born into debt, so they have no choice. They go to college, they get all this debt, they don't have a choice. They have to embrace this murderously bloody system, and all the money everybody makes is blood money. And until people put themselves in somebody else's shoes, this nonsense continues. While yes, we need leaders that don't sow division. Yes, Ish. And you know what, Ish, that's possible when people have integrity. When you have integrity and you don't clap for leaders that are being divisive, they stop being divisive. The only reason leaders are divisive is because people clap. When your leader starts to talk about a human being somewhere that they want to go murder, stop clapping. Right? That's really that simple. When they talk about somebody they want to take something from and give it to you, say, no, I don't want what they have. I don't want you to take nothing from them in taxes or anything else. No, I don't want it. That's theirs, not mine. They had labor. They have problems like I have. They're human beings. Why in the world are you going after human beings? You know, but people have to have that integrity. Leaders are divisive because it's a dramatic message and people don't want to admit it, but they're kind of okay with being thieves because they don't actually do the thieving. They're okay with little kids and youth going to fight for them in the wars because they're not the ones fighting. You know, when people stop clapping for that stuff goes away. Yeah, it's NATO book, Brother Tony. NATO runs it. That's true, Gerard. Let me see. What is it? Last couple comments. If they aren't sociopaths, politics is an above average of sociopaths. Yes, it is. And it's a fun game, and they like to play the game, and that's why they keep playing it. That's why I'm saying we got to stop playing. Got to take it seriously, people. This is not a video game. You know, this isn't just something fun to do. This is survival. Gotta have your fangs. Gotta have your fangs. This is not a game. This is this is real. And when we act like we're tigers, we act like we got fangs, we act like we're gonna protect the next generation, we go for the jugular when we have that moment, like Chris Hedges, something good can happen. You know, last thing I'll say before I get out of here, somebody asked me the other day, said, oh, that guy Gerard just got a bunch of followers. He's trying to grow his followers. I'm trying to grow people who watch me, so I appreciate you sharing. But I have no followers. There are no followers. I'm not leading anybody anywhere. If anything, this conglomeration of people you see here, they're leading me. You don't understand how a collective works. I don't have followers. I listen to what people say and I give my perspective. And when I'm wrong, my friends call me on it. They'll post the facts and we'll keep going. And we all evolve as a collective. So there's no leaders in this. There's no leaders in self-determination. You know, it's just us standing up for each other. I might be the person that's on the camera right here, but that's all I am. Everybody's an individual. Everybody's a leader. And that's how we make a sustainable world, is you respect everybody's ability to lead themselves. None of my beliefs are always solidly true. I don't know anything. What do I know? The only thing I know is what people tell me. And the only way I increase that is I increase the people telling me stuff. I increase the diversity in the people telling me stuff. We're all connected. Yes, last comment goes to Brenda. We are all connected. We are all one. And when people start to evolve and understand that, that's when you get beautiful things out of people. When these little ignorant, greedy, selfish bastards that are only worried about themselves or their little group, that's when you get the worst out of humanity. Level up. All right, I gotta go. Listen, love y'all to death. Grow your fangs out. Evolve. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm out of here. Gerard. Bye-bye.